Hello, everyone. My name is Linda Gundo. I am the CEO and founder of Linda's Perfection Creations. I am a certified wedding planner and a florist. Linda's Perfection Creation is an event planning and wedding decor company. We cater to small and large events in and around the Philadelphia area. We do full service, partial, month of coordinations. Most people know it as day of coordination, but they actually month of because technically, hey, you cannot really plan a wedding a day. You can try, but it will be chaotic. We do um, planning and decor, so you don't have to do both. You can do vice versa. You can do planning if you want. You can do decor if you want. Even if you have, let's say, if it's just say you just want a bridal bouquet or some corsages and boutonnieres and a couple of centerpieces, not the whole design scheme, we can do that as well. We tailor our package to meet our couples where they are in the stage of the planning. So if the full service doesn't work for you, or you just want certain a la carte service that you can add to create what works best for your wedding or your events, we do that as well. We do all types of events from birthday, milestone celebrations, anniversary, bachelor party, engagement party, grand opening, pretty much anything that need planning and decor, we handle it. So as I promised you guys, I said the next couple of days we're gonna be talking, and I'm gonna dive deep into the planning stage, the step-by-step checklist of what to do when you're planning your wedding for a year. Yesterday I talked about month 12, so like the 12 months, what are some of the things you do. Month 11 is pretty like, there's only one thing pretty much. You can always add more. So let's say even if you carry, or let's say if you didn't finish everything that you were supposed to do in month 12, you can carry over some to month 11. At least if you come made to have done maybe have a 50% or 75%. If you completed the whole thing, kudos to you. Amazing job. You're on the right track. I always strongly believe it's better to start ahead of the game. And even though I'm breaking this list down, doesn't mean that you have to. So if you finish everything, if you accomplish everything in a particular month, and you have days left over to say, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna wait and just wait back because the checklist said I can do this in month 11. No, it's always this is just a guideline. You do it how you feel fit. If you can accomplish this quickly, then what the list say, please go for it. As long as it's not stressing you or not overwhelming you and putting too much pressure on you, do it. I'm one of the people that always strongly believe that it's better to do things, get things done on time, than do it. But at the same time, if you just started planning, this just help you, you know, take it easier and goes. But it you can also do this too. Let's say for some of the couple who don't decide to plan a wedding for a year, maybe 6 months or maybe 2 years. So you have a longer time to do it, or you have a shorter time. You have just have to bucket up and do it. So for month 11, you want to pick the color theme, your overall theme for the wedding. Start thinking about how the overall theme gonna look, what design you want the overall design, how the design scheme. My recommendation is that if you don't already have a Pinterest board, create a Pinterest board. That way, if you choose to use a planner or florist or whoever, even if anybody doing it, they can just look at your ideas. Because the thing is, most of the time we have all this stuff in our head, and sometimes people need to see it. Some people, like for me, I can picture what people are saying and I can be able to create that. Also, when I see it, it just take it to another level. So sometimes just to make sure that people understand, because sometimes it's hard for us to like articulate or really properly say. It's not that you don't know what you're saying, but sometimes what you're saying may not actually go along with how the brain thinking. So creating a Pinterest board, I think is really great because you can look at anything and floor your Pinterest board, look at different pictures, look at different design, and just this is the time to get creative. Look at, you can even go to the wedding knot, the knot and the wedding wire. They have a nice tool, which I think is really good, where you can put in your color theme, and they literally can show you all the color design, the different style, even your style of the wedding you want. And they will show you what color goes with what. They help you create a palette. It helps you pick different palettes. So there's a lot of options out there. So month 11 is starting to start looking at the or design skin over there, and that's pretty much what you have to do in that month. But as I said, if things from month 12 you didn't done, you can carry over, or you can also go into month the 10th month. You can get a start on the game and start doing things. One thing is that in the 10th month, this is when you want to start hiring your vendors. If you can do it sooner than that, go ahead. And I mean vendors that usually get booked quickly, like your photographer, your DJ, if you are using a band, if you are using a musician. Those are the things that you want to hire to make sure that you start, getting the ball game rolling. So you want to start asking, meeting with multiple vendors. And one thing that I recommend to everybody, as I stated in the prior video, make sure you meet with at least 4 different vendors of each kind. That way you can compare and contrast the prices. Make sure you're not just jumping into anything. Because when you meet somebody, sometimes they just tell you anything. It doesn't mean that they're bad at a job, but that style may not work for you. You don't want to plan a wedding then realize that, oh, this is not for me. So you want to make sure you start hiring all the right venues, the vendors, I'm sorry, everything that you need to do. Start booking appointments, start looking at opening, because especially if you're picking a date that's in wedding season, a lot of great professional go pretty fast. So the sooner you get it done, the better. Start making it, put down the deposit, sign a contract. And one thing I want to advise people before I go, and even if I don't go deep into month 10 today, if I just stay on this one part, let me just tell you something very, very important. If you're trying to work with a great vendor, a great wedding professional, make sure you have your deposit money. Make sure you sign that contract. Make sure you make that deposit payment. Because most wedding professionals that are come highly recommended. They have clients that are trying to book. They don't have time to wait for somebody who say, okay, well, can I get to you late tomorrow? Even if they are willing to do that, because everybody's different. Make sure you sign that contract. Because if you don't sign that contract, there's nothing binding and holding into that day. Some in the profession might give you a day or two, a couple of days, maybe a week to make your first deposit. Some may want you to do it right away, and different option. But put your deposit down. So the first thing you need to do is create your budget. When you have your budget, you always have money. As you start to book these vendors, make sure you have money to make the deposit. If you do not have money, you're just wasting your time. And I'm being honest with you. If you say, oh, well, I'm just going to wait till later, I'm going to pay this later, pay that. Most wedding professionals don't want to work with people because this is their business. The more time they're waiting for you, they could be doing other clients. So make sure you have all that deposit in line. So when you call somebody, when you're looking, let's say if you're looking for a photographer and say, okay, my budget for a photographer is $4,000. You want to make sure you have at least 50% of that deposit down, because most vendors usually require 50% deposit. Some might do 30%. Some might say you pay 50% of signing, and then some might say 25 or 30 based on it, but at least have 50% of that deposit on hold waiting. Same thing with a videographer. Whatever your budget is to charge the have 50% of that deposit already waiting. If you can have more, have more. Don't be reaching out to people and you do not have money to pay them, because all you do is just wasting your time. And then by the time you make up your mind to make other decisions, they already go. So before you pick up that phone, that email, send that email, make sure that money is already sitting in your account, because you will lose out on great service. Because you got to understand, it's not that they don't want to do it, but this is the time. You have paying customers who's willing to pay you right away. Some customer want to pay 100% of the payment right there, because they know that photographer or that videographer or that DJ that everybody worth. They know they're a hard ticket item. They're not going to sit there and wait for a client who are indecisive. So when you are looking, be realistic with them. Say, hey, I'm comparing prices. I'm letting through. I want to see if this is a best fit. Don't walk into an interview and making the person feel like, oh, hey, I'm going to book you. This is what I want. If you are looking around or you're shopping around, utilize the free consultation and let them know, hey, I'm looking. I just want to compare. I met a couple other photographers. I want to see what you have to offer, and then give people chances, and then say, hey, I am going to give you a couple of days to get back. And if you promise somebody or tell somebody, let me think it over, I will get back to you. Even if you choose to go another route, let them know. It's common courtesy. Because if you tell somebody something and what most people might hold that day for you, and if you decide to go another, that's fine. You don't have to. Even if you have the money, some people may not work for you. Just say, hey, we decided to go another route. Thank you for meeting with me. It's just all it takes is proper etiquette. It's simple. Let people know, because you won't want somebody to do that to you as well. So let's, if you tell a client to say, okay, I'm going to check my schedule, and then they never call back or they never talk back to you, you're going to say, oh, well, I contact this vendor. They didn't even have the common courtesy to let me know. Just talk to people. Be honest. It takes you a long way. But that is all for today. I will continue my 10th tomorrow. As I say, this was something important. I feel like I really needed to take my time to explain it, because these are the things that make and break your wedding. So make sure you book your wedding entertainer and everything that you need for your wedding in month end. If you can do it in month 11, that's great, but make sure you book it as soon as possible, because they do go pretty fast. You won't want to be left out with MrHorribleDJ.com and Mr. Horrible Photographer, who just end up messing your day, because these things is hard to come back. But thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Tomorrow I will dive deeper into the other section. Thank you for watching, and you have an amazing day. Bye.